Hi, everybody. My name is Ruham Manzoor, and I'm the managing partner of Maces. Today, we're doing a Facebook Live session with one of our partners in Canada called University of Windsor. We have with us, or we're supposed to have with us, Ms. Niharika from the University of Windsor. However, she is having some technical issues which we are trying to solve. At the same time, we also have with us Adyat Rahman. Adyat is one of our students who's currently studying, as he reminded me very well, online, but he's currently based in Canada itself. He's in Toronto. So, Adyat, good to have you here. And Niharika, we can't see you, but we can. I hope you can hear us.
I can hear you, but I'm not able to switch on my webcam for some reason.
Okay, I think this is something where you have to give permission to your computer to use the webcam. Either way, I think it will be fine. She's having technical issues, so she's going back and forth. Let's hope that we can get that sorted soon. Adia, tell me, why did you want to apply to Canada out of all the universities in the world? Why did you apply to Canada?
Yeah, hello, I'm Adyat Rahman, and the first thing that hit in my mind was frankly, the educational quality. First thing is the quality, and the second thing is the Canadian culture. That is, the Canadian culture is well known for its friendliness. Yeah, these are the two things.
So yeah, I mean, you talked about the Canadian culture, the friendliness of the people. Those were the main things that got you to apply to this, is it?
Yeah, and also the quality of the education.
Quality of the education. Now, tell me, what is your academic background? Like, where are you coming from? What's the academic background?
Yeah, I graduated from North South University, Bangladesh, and my degree is from biochemistry and microbiology.
In microbiology. So you are needed in this world.
Sorry?
You're needed today. I mean, with this coronavirus and all that, you are really in high demand. So what is going on? When can we, go into restaurants?
Sorry, can you just repeat?
When can we start going into restaurants?
Oh, restaurants. I think not before next fall. Maybe if we're lucky, then maybe in the next.
It's good to have you. We can see you. Hopefully, you can see us, hear us, and everything. Is everything
Yes.
working?
All working fine now, and that's how we play with technology these days.
Yeah.
Virtual life is teaching us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything is virtual these days. Are you
Yeah, I know.
doing virtual class? So you go. So normally, when you're during semesters, you go into class, and then you go into the lecture time at the lecture time, and then the teacher teaches you, gives this lecture, you ask questions, and that's how you go forward. What is happening now? Like, how do you do classes now?
If I speak frankly, just I get up from my bed in the morning, make my breakfast, and sit in front of the laptop, turn on the camera, and just listen to the lectures. And if there is something confusing, then I ask questions to the.
You can do that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, yes, yes.
except you don't have to physically walk in the cold. You can just sit. Sometimes, I guess, you don't even have breakfast. You just get up and,
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes.
I have three children, so sometimes they do the same thing. We have to, push them and all that. Niharika, so good to have you here today. So tell us,
Thank you so much.
working with University of Windsor, what has your experience been, and why did you decide to work with University of Windsor?
Oh, well, it's a long story, but I have been working in this field since 2005. So 10 years I've worked for British universities. Recruitment just excited me, talking to young minds, guiding them to their dreams, or living their dreams with them also. I've seen all of that in the past 12, 13 years of being in the recruitment line. So that is what excited me initially, when I did not even know that an industry like this existed. And when people had limited choices, limited options to go abroad, they were not aware. So I have seen, a lot of change in the industry, a lot of change in the mindset of students as well. And since 2005, things have improved and changed. And I have been associated with the University of Windsor since the past 2 years. And I've had experiences of working with other Canadian and British universities before. And it is all very exciting. Windsor is a good place to be.
So tell us about, I guess you have a presentation for us, Niharika, that you can share.
Yes, I do. I do.
You can share the screen. There is a share button at the bottom, and then I will have to add it once I see the share has come through.
Sure.
So Adit, which is your favorite class?
The course, the favorite course.
Favorite course module.
Favorite course, I can say it's clinical biochemistry that I'm doing now in this semester.
And what do you study in clinical biochemistry?
Different kind of diseases and clinical approaches that we do for the diagnosis and sometimes the treatment.
Do you foresee an increase in funding in this area? Because, like you're a postgraduate student, obviously. So, there's a lot of research that goes, this is all about research. Do you see there's a lot of potential for increase in funding in that area?
Yeah, obviously. And now, if we say frankly, the Canadian government is saying that having too much money is not the main thing. You have to build the biotechnological field in your country. Like America has the biotechnological field and they have the plans, but in Canada, they don't have that much, and they will invest in it.
Okay, Niharika, are we almost ready?
Are you able to see the screen, Ruham?
I can see the screen, but I can see the folders. The folders. I'm sharing it with you. The folder, the presentation folder. So not the actual presentation itself.
Okay. So at my end, it is showing that the presentation is on. Just let me see. I'll go back to it again.
So Adiyat, I'll keep asking you questions because people ask us questions. So you're living in Toronto. You're not in Windsor right now?
No, I'm living in Toronto right now.
And do you plan to live here as long as
as long as the on-campus classes starts, and but I don't think I will move to Windsor, because if I have only 1 or 2 lab classes in a week, I think I will not move to Windsor. I will just go on the day that I have my class and then come back.
If you have a family member there, and it's just cheaper to.
Yeah. I'm living with my family member.
Okay. Niharika, you're on. We can see your presentation screen. Everything looks good.
Excellent. So thank you so much. And I'm excited to be here today. I'll go through a small presentation, say about 10 minutes, and then we can open the house for questions. Ruham will help me in that. Welcome, everybody, to University of Windsor's presentation. This is a comprehensive research-based university in Canada. And I will first highlight the factors at why you should choose a Canadian education. I know you're spoiled for choices these days, a lot of options at hand, but Canadian education will lead you to a very safe and healthy community. Choosing that will lead you to it, because we try and maintain a very close-knit campus community. Wherever you go, public institutions in Canada will try and give you a very diverse and multicultural sort of society there. It is a welcoming country. Canadian government welcomes you with open hands, open arms. And affordability wise, the tuition and cost of living is pretty affordable. If you compare it with other countries like Australia, UK, the tuition fees is very, very competitive. The degrees are recognized all across the world. These are all accredited programs. So anywhere you go, you will be accepted. Windsor University is in Windsor, Essex area. We are home to 5 of the 10 safest communities in Canada. If you have a look at the map on the right-hand side, you will see that we are right at the borders of US and Canada. That is one attractive point for our students, because proximity to US suddenly increases the attraction of the place, and that is why people settle down in Windsor. A lot of migrant population has settled down in Windsor because of its proximity to US and many opportunities that are available throughout. The university itself was established in 1954. We have 9 faculties where you can choose between 200 plus programs. It is an interdisciplinary sort of approach that you can get into. You can choose a major and a minor. You can choose master's programs. You can choose specializations within those master's program. And it has around 16,000 students. We are a mid-sized university, and we feel proud to call ourselves a mid-sized university, because you're not known by your application number or your student ID. You're known by your name. The professors will have a personal connect with you. That is why we try and maintain small class sizes. The state-of-the-art teaching facilities, the diversity in terms of faculty, staff, and student population is something that you should look at when you are choosing universities. Affordability-wise, tuition fee ranges from 28,000 to 40,000 Canadian dollars. So you can afford the fees that is offered at the university. You also have the ability to work on or off campus. So you can work on campus with various departments. You can work outside the campus with a lot of restaurants, stores, etc. We try and give you support throughout your stay at the university and also beyond. We have a very good alumni network. So our students, even after passing out, keep in touch with us. We try and give in-program experiential learning opportunities. So your 4-year degrees, most of them would have embedded internships or co-ops. So you're able to apply whatever you learn in your academics to the kind of work atmosphere that you want to get into. So there are companies who are in touch with us. We have a very good network. Our co-op department works full time to get you those sort of experiences when you are studying at a 4-year degrees or 2-year master's program. You can work up to 20 hours a week for those of you who are looking for quick pocket money. Living expenses can also be catered to with the kind of part-time work that you put in. So on campus, off campus, you have a lot of opportunities to look at. These degrees are going to give you a 3-year of stay back option. So that is what attracts students to Canada. After you finish your 4-year degree or your 2-year programs, you can stay back in Canada for 3 years. So that is how there is a lot of return on investments when you're looking at investing lakhs and lakhs of rupees into your studies. Opportunities are galore at the university. You can get involved in voluntary activities. You can get involved with various societies and clubs that we have. We try and give you a wholehearted experience. So we celebrate a lot of cultural festivals. We do a lot of workshops with you. So there will be a lot of assistance and support given to you throughout your 4 years of study with us. These are some of the top employers at the university: IBM, General Motors, Scotiabank, TUV Nord. These people have been associated with the university and our career and co-op department, and our students have gotten placed with these and many other companies which are present in Canada. These are some of the programs. I'll quickly let you see. We have commerce, sciences, engineering programs. We also have arts and humanities programs. Rehabilitation or physiotherapy related programs are offered at our undergrad level. Basic requirements, 70% or equivalent in your 12 years of study. Engineering sciences will have specific requirements. You also need your IELTS or TOEFL, whatever you're planning to give. We need a 6.5 IELTS. There are plenty of scholarships to give out. So meritorious students can get scholarships ranging from 1,000 to 10,000 Canadian dollars. You don't have to apply for them. You just need to submit your application and a complete set of documentation. If you have 85% or equivalent GPA, you will be assessed automatically. So there are plenty of opportunities, especially for our international students. These are some of our master's programs. So we have actuarial, applied computing, masters of management, masters of education. Engineering also has a lot of options, specializations. So these programs will be 16 months duration. You will quickly finish your degrees and get into the workforce as soon as you complete the programs. All these programs require 70% or equivalent in your 4-year degree. We also need IELTS. We don't need GRE or GMAT for most of our programs, except MBA, where you need a GMAT score of 550. We need your references, your CV, statement of interest. You will get 3 years of stay back option after these programs. Although they are 16 months duration, they are equivalent to 2-year degree. So don't worry about the stay back option. It will be for 3 years and you will have plenty of time to get settled and look out for jobs in Canada. The application process is all online, so you'll need to get in touch with MACES and their team. They are our registered agents. They will help you with the application as well as the visa process. They've been working with us for a long time. You just need to upload all your documents. I know some of you will not be able to travel and come to their offices. I'm not sure how the scene is in Bangladesh, but yes, if you're not able to, you can just coordinate on the phone and finish the application process online. These are my details in case you want to get in touch with me and know more about the university. I'm happy to help you. I'll stop sharing my screen now, Rohan.
Okay, great. Neha, thank you so much. Niharika, thank you so much for
No
that
problem.
Seems like you can do it in your sleep.
I know. Every day, 3 presentations.
Yeah, I mean, it's practice makes perfect, and that's perfectly perfect length. You covered all the basics. I want to summarize, if I understand, if I was a good student, and you can always tell me. So basically, University of Windsor offers a big range of programs that are all accredited and accepted worldwide. They have a lot of undergraduate and postgraduate programs. For the postgraduate, if you're applying from Bangladesh, you need a GPA of 3 and above. For undergraduate, you need, between your O levels and A levels, you need 2Ds or and above in your A levels, and HSC, I think GPA 4 and above will be able to get in. There are scholarships available. Scholarships range anywhere between you said $1,000 to $10,000, but
undergrad.
It said 500 to 1,000. So a little bit confused there. But we will take your word for it, Niharika. So
yes, please.
In undergraduate level, scholarships are available. Though, there is a lot. I mean, if you're looking at return on investment, Windsor and particularly Canada has a lot to offer. First of all, the tuition fee is quite reasonable. It ranges anywhere between $26,000 to $40,000 for the tuition fees, which actually is much cheaper than many. So in pounds, that's about 20,000 pounds on the high end, and about 14,000 pounds on the lower end. Which if you compare to US, it has a lot to offer. The best thing is once you graduate, you get a 3-year work permit. So you're done in 16 months for postgraduate. For undergraduate, it's 4 years, and then you get a 3-year work permit. Now, while you're studying, most of the programs offer co-op programs, so students can experience what it is like to work in Canada. And a lot of times, if they're doing good in their co-op, they can often matriculate and convert that into a job. So that's another interesting thing. What I really found also interesting is most postgraduate programs in Canada require GRE, GMAT, or work experiences. For Windsor, except for the MBA, pretty much most of the courses you can get in without GRE, GMAT requirement, without any work experience. Now, this is where I must say, because I've been working with Windsor for quite some time, and Maces has been working with Windsor for quite some time. Just because they don't accept GRE, GMAT, or work experience doesn't mean you're going to apply and you're going to get in. It is a very grueling application process. There is a huge demand for the university, especially for Bangladesh, and so sometimes it takes months, 3-4 months. Even 5-6 months sometimes to get an offer. So one needs to apply ahead of time. Courses get booked. I mean, this is March, and I'm pretty sure once we start applying now, we'll see an email saying, "Oh, this course is full. We're moving that program to the next semester." So applying ahead of time is very, very important. To apply, you can get in touch with us, by email, mail@macesbd.com. You can write to us on Facebook, message us on Facebook, or you can call us 017-5566-0012. That was in a nutshell, basically. Was I a good student, Niharika? Did I get pretty much? Okay, all right. So I think
A stars.
most of it. So you have heard it from us. I mean, we did go overboard a little bit in terms of when we started. Sorry for those who still are stuck around. We did lose quite a few, but this will be posted for perpetuity, so you can always come back to it, and we will be making a short version of this and posting it. Adia, how long did it take you to get an offer? Like, when did you apply?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you sometime for this. Yeah, when I think it was April 12th when I applied for the January intake, and I was pretty sure that I will get the offer letter for the January intake, and because the deadline was June 1st, I think. And in the September, after around 3.5 months, they just mailed me that they are booked for the January intake.
Yeah.
And they want to shift me to the next September. So I had to wait around more than 1 year to get enrolled. And yeah, anyone if you want to study in the Windsor, just apply 1 year before your enrollment semester.
I mean, that's the nature of the beast. There is a huge demand, so we want to apply as soon as possible.
The application opens up a year in advance. Just to add to what Adya said, the application opens up a year in advance. So as soon as the application portal is open, I would suggest you start the application, and you can upload your pending documents as and when they come through. Don't wait for all your documents to come in and then apply. Start applying, and you can always log into the portal and upload the documents.
I want to add something. When I mailed to the University of Windsor about the application process, they said you just need a 6-month transcript to apply. You don't need to wait for the degree completion or get your certificate. You can just apply without completing your degree.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of students do that. They apply with their predicted grades, and they make the application, because not everybody wants to wait to graduate and then apply, because then they have to have 1 year.
I did the mistake, so I just learned from it.
Right. Everybody learns. So it's good that now we know. So for those of you who are listening, please don't wait. If you're doing your undergraduate studies, don't wait for you to finish. Apply ahead of time. Apply 1 year ahead of time with your transcripts, whatever is available at that time. University of Windsor will take that into consideration, that you're currently undertaking your studies, and then issue you an offer as and when. This question, I mean, of course, there are going to be a lot of questions, Niharika, but, Adiyat, when we do these sessions, a lot of times students get for your visa processing and things, was it very complicated? Like, how did you manage that?
No, it was not that much complicated. If you have the valid documents for everything, it's easy. But if you want to fake something or make some documents, then it's not going to be easy, and you probably will get banned. Yeah.
So that's a very good point. If you're applying from Bangladesh, a lot of people, what they do, and there is a lot of agencies out there, they're doing the visa, they're taking a fee, and they're making documents for students to do their visa processing. And this is something you have to be very careful about. if you come to Maces, we will assess you based on whatever documents you have, and we will help you prepare your visa application based on what your actual circumstances. As long as you have the valid documents, you can show the income and everything. We can check your study plan and everything. It shouldn't be too much difficult. Now,
Yeah, I want to add something. If you mostly they fake the bank statement because in Bangladesh most of us have the financial problem, and in my case, to verify the document, they mailed to my bank and they said if it is valid or not, and yeah, that's it.
so that's the thing. I mean, you don't want to go with a fake documents. You're going to be banned for life. I have some questions for Niharika now. This question is from Sharika. Can I transfer my credits to Windsor?
Yes, transfer of credits is possible, but it is taken on a case-by-case basis. So we will need you to submit your syllabus. We will then map the syllabus with the kind of credits and courses we have in our first 2 years. And after the mapping, it will take a longer time to map those modules and courses. But definitely, we are open to transfer students. If you have studied from a recognized university in Bangladesh, there are possibilities. But you should give us time. As I said, Ruham has mentioned the exact GPA requirements. So as long as you have that, you can apply and give us a couple of weeks extra than the normal 8 to 12 week process of assessing the application.
And
You're
Sharika,
saying something?
also wanted to add to that when you transfer credits, some universities like North South IUB, they have a history of transferring to Windsor. So Windsor already are aware of some of those syllabuses, so maybe quicker. But still, you want to do it ahead of time, as Niharika said. It does take a little bit additional time. So you need to provide your core syllabus. And remember, when you apply for credit transfer, let's say your GPA is 2.9 or 3 or whatever. That doesn't matter. What matters is it's going to be a course-by-course basis. Some courses you might have got an A or a B. I mean, those will be easier to be transferred. However, if you have courses that you have D or E in, probably those are not going to be transferred. So remember that. So it's going to be, they're going to do their mapping and decide how much of that, they will get. This question could be for Niharika, but probably Adyat can say a little bit more. Though Adyat is not living in Windsor at the moment; he's living in Toronto, and he has a subsidized living with his, he's living with his relatives. So, is the living cost high in Canada?
No, I would say no. If we compare it with the UK or Australia, it's much cheaper. It's very much cheaper, and the good thing is if you there are a limitation of 20 hours of work permit. If you work for 20 hours, you can easily earn your living cost easily. I just work 5 days in 2 weeks, and I can earn around 1,200 Canadian dollars easily. It's not that much difficult.
You mean you can earn 1,200 Canadian dollar by working 2 weeks?
By working 20 hours in a week.
For a month.
Yeah, I just mentioned it because in 2 weeks it's 14 days, and I just work 5 days, not 14, and the other 9 days I'm free.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean that's a very good. You have been lucky, and also 1,200 is quite a bit of money and all that. So, but I must say something as a Canada is, I wouldn't say it's particularly cheaper, especially, I mean, the city you're living in, Toronto. I live in Toronto, by the way. So, I mean, it's not cheap, but, if you compare to like Windsor, for example, it is really, really cost effective. I mean, compared to
1.5 times cheaper to Toronto. Windsor cost of living is.
Yeah, and the minimum income is the same in Toronto and Windsor.
Right.
Yes. So that's why you can earn more, save more, and maybe.
Now the minimum wages is around 14.25, I think.
Right.
Yeah, 14.5 is the minimum wage per hour.
Hourly.
Yeah. 14.25. Okay, we move on to the next question. I want to know a bit about the city where university is located. How are the people in there? Niharika.
Sure. The city of Windsor, as I explained in the PowerPoint too, it is the southernmost tip of Ontario province, so right at the borders of US and Canada. If you compare it if you want to know the distance from Toronto, one of the major cities, it's around 3 hours, 40 minutes drive from Toronto. So whenever I'm there, I spend my weekends in Toronto. It's very easy to take a cab in the evening after work on Friday and come to Toronto. I have friends and family there, so I spend some time and come back on Sunday evening. So that is possible. If you have relatives, friends, and family, you can travel to and fro. There are students who have also traveled to Detroit, which is the other side of the border. And after 3 months, you can get a visitor's visa to US as well. It is pretty easy. Bangladeshi students I have interacted with, they have traveled to Detroit and they were ready to take me to the other side of the border and experience it.
To go from Windsor to Detroit.
Yeah, it is pretty easy, and 45 minutes drive it is from Windsor to Detroit. So not very far away if you compare it to the kind of traffic you find in Bangladesh. It is just a 45-minute drive from Windsor to Detroit. So pretty easy. The city is livable. There are a lot of people who have been settled in Windsor for say 20, 30 years. A lot of our staff, Windsor staff, has been settled there for 20, 30 years. And people are very friendly. I have roamed around in the middle of the night also. So there is no scare. It is a very safe and secure environment. As long as you are aware of your surroundings, you know where you're going, you shouldn't feel intimidated at all.
So, again, to add to that, I mean, Canadians are generally nice. They're known worldwide to be welcoming, nice people. Just to give you an idea, we came here 2010. My daughter was only 4 years old at that time, and my son was 2 years old. And when she started school, we intentionally didn't teach her any English, right? So we only taught her Bangla because we knew she would learn English. We all know English. But the thing is, she didn't know a single word of English, and we were very worried when she goes to school. I can tell you the way the community welcomed us, it is really, really amazing to see. So Windsor is much more friendlier as well. I mean, it is really something to see. So Shaima, I hope that answered your question. The next question is from Sherzil Ramiz. What happens to undergrad applicant students gets conditional offer letter and for some reason cannot fulfill one condition? Does the student get rejected completely or gets an alternative offer?
This is a question that I've asked my admissions team very many times. Do we reject students? So as Roham was telling, Canadian people are very welcoming. We have never rejected a student. We have just asked them to apply to another program if they don't meet the entry requirements of a particular program. Sometimes it happens that you don't have a maths background and you're applying to a BCom program. We will not reject you. We will give you an alternate offer. We will give you an arts offer where you can get into an arts and humanities program and then transfer to a BCom program in the second year after completing those maths modules. So we have, as a record, we have not rejected anybody. We've always given alternate offers. Sometimes students don't have the required GPA also. After submitting their 6 semesters or 7 semester mark sheets. And once they have completed, they have again sent the final mark sheets and we have reassessed their applications and given them an offer for the master's students. So don't worry, you will not get rejected, but we will definitely give you some alternative.
That's a very good answer, Niharika, and I think you answered it quite comprehensively. Mehez asked, if I studied in an English curriculum and also just finished undergrad from UK, can I be exempted from the English requirement? What she's talking about is probably IELTS.
Right. So exemptions are possible for students who have studied for more than 3 years consecutively through native English speakers. So if your degree has been in England, you can get exempted because it would have been a 3-year duration at least if you're doing your undergrad, and you can get exempted, not an issue. But for visa purposes, I think, Roham, they will need an IELTS or TOEFL. No?
I mean, this is a very good point. So first of all, the first one, what you just said is the key point is native English speakers, which means you have to have studied in UK or an English-speaking country. That's what you're saying, right, Niharika?
Yep.
So
Yes,
our
yes.
experience has been that, so in the visa application checklist, IELTS is there. It's specifically mentioned. So we recommend everybody to give IELTS. However, we have had students who come from English medium background, who go into undergraduate programs and who has O-levels and all that, and they have applied without IELTS and got the visa. So we have quite a few students actually where they have been accepted without IELTS and they applied for a visa without IELTS and they have got it. But we usually recommend everybody to give IELTS or Pearson test of English, like one of the English things, because the visa application checklist specifically mentions that. Sadia asked, could you please clarify about the scholarships availability? I guess, what is required for getting those scholarships, Niharika? You knew that was going to come.
Sure. Most of these scholarships that we offer are based on academic merit. So when you're applying to an undergrad program, we will look at your 10th, 11th, 12th predicted grades. If they are more than 85% throughout, the whole academic profile is good enough, then we will automatically assess you for scholarships, which I mentioned earlier range from 1,000 to 10,000 Canadian dollars. In case you have 90 and above, you can separately apply to some of our awards, which are the Dean's scholarships or the presidential scholarships, which are for 10,000 and 16,000 Canadian dollars respectively. So for that, you need to fill up an awards profile that will be sent to you by our registrar's office. So they will assess you. They will see that you have 90%. They will send you the details of the scholarships that are for the students who have good grades. So these scholarships are offered for the first year of entry. Second year, again, it will depend on your CGPA. Some faculties also have need-based scholarships in second and third year. So students who are looking for some financial assistance, they might be able to apply, but it depends on the kind of budget the faculty has for that particular calendar year.
And I must say one thing, that when you're going to study, this is an expensive course of study, and let's say you get the first year, you need to ensure that you can afford the following years, because don't think that, in the second year I'll just apply for a need-based scholarship, because that might not work out and then you're going to be in trouble. Another question that is related to scholarships, I just wanted to get it out of the way. You mentioned about mainly undergraduate ones. Are there anything for master's students or MBA? No.
That is why I did not mention. So there are no scholarships or bursaries for master students, the course-based masters specifically. These are 16-month programs and we have a very competitive fee structure. So there are no scholarships at all for the course-based masters. For the research-based masters for 2 years, you may be able to get some funding, which is there, which is available with the supervisor. And the project will have some funding, external, internal. So the supervisor will be able to allocate that for students who are getting into a research-based masters. But course-based masters does not have any scholarships. Although I have seen students getting some teaching assistantship, research assistantship, graduate assistantship sort of opportunities when they are studying in the master's program. So through that, you can earn some extra bucks, but there are no scholarships, unfortunately, for the master's students.
This is where one has to understand that, if you're looking at the exchange rate now, which is about 65, I think, so a $35,000 course or a $30,000 course or a $40,000 course, you're looking at about 25 lakh, and that's a very reasonable amount of money. Remember, there are, co-op opportunities for most of the programs. Once you graduate, you get the 3-year work permit, which you can easily use to this thing. But also remember, for your visa, you need to show a source of funds that you can actually afford it. So that's a very, very important thing. A lot of people want to apply to Canada. We can understand why. It's a nice country. They have the 3-year work permit, the post-PR opportunities and all of that. And we understand that. And there is a huge demand for it. In fact, it's been crazy. However, one has to understand that, if you want to go and study there, you need to show funds. You need to show that you have the capability to obtain a visa. At Maces, we don't charge our students. So we only want to work with you if we are confident that you'll be successful in your application, in your visa process. And so we will vet you through that process. So if you want to know whether you would be eligible or not, or whether you meet the requirements or not, please come and meet us. We will help you with that. A small plug in there, Niharika. This is, I think, the last question, but the question is not very clear. Zarif asked, are there any opportunities for co-op in Canada through UK?
Okay. I wish he could explain the question.
So
there are co-op opportunities. Is he looking at co-op opportunities which will take him to UK for a term or something of that sort?
Basically, I am also, I couldn't understand the question, which is why I left it to you. One question could be that, okay, if I'm doing my studies in Canada, would I be able to do my co-op in UK, for example? I mean, unless you're a citizen of UK, I mean, just to get the work opportunity or internship in UK might be complicated because that's a work permit, right, Niharika? I mean, you can't
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe he's asking about if he's doing his program in UK, if he can do the co-op in Canada.
Same answer. So the co-op program, first of all, wherever he does the co-op, then they have to organize a work permit for him, which might not be easy. Zarif, I don't think that's going to be an easy one. Also, remember, co-op, the whole point of the co-op is, of course, to get some work experience before you graduate, but more importantly, it paves the path for you to get a job after you graduate. So if you are studying in Canada, you would you'd be better off doing your co-op in Canada, because you can then use that experience to land a job after you graduate. I don't know. We couldn't understand your question altogether. So, I hope we have answered it. Niharika.
Sometimes I have seen students coming to their home countries for a co-op. So there was a student who came to his home country, like India, where I'm based out of at the moment. So he came back to India. He had some, links with an organization here. So he did his co-op from India for 4 months. That was added to his transcripts too. So you can do it in your home country, but any other country, you will definitely need a work visa or some rights to go and work in UK or vice versa.
So yeah, with that, I think we have come to the end. We have done about 43 minutes. Usually we like to keep it within 30 to 40 minutes. Usually we go over 3-4 minutes as well. Niharika, Adia, thank you so much for coming to us. I hope some of the students who joined us and people who will be watching it later will get some benefit out of it. We will try to shorten this into small excerpts and then repost it later on. Once again, Adia, Niharika, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to see our old students and our partners. Guests who have watched us, thank you so much. Our next program is on the 22nd. I think we are talking with Queen Mary University London, which is a Russell Group University based in London. So please keep an eye out for that. With that, we say goodbye for today. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you.